The storm never stopped on Venus. Thick clouds swirled in yellow skies, lightning crackled across the horizon, and the air was filled with a low, humming wind that sounded like a constant whisper. No human had ever walked on Venus. The heat alone could melt steel. But that didn't stop Elias Quinn. Elias stood inside his pressure suit, staring out from the small viewing window of the Zephyr One, the first manned research base on Venus. His breath fogged up the inside of his helmet, and he wiped it clean with his glove. Behind him, machines hummed, and screens flickered with data. He was alone. The rest of his crew had left weeks ago when their mission ended, but Elias had stayed behind. He wasn't just a scientist, he was a dreamer. All his life, he had listened to stories of space explorers and ancient signals from beyond. He believed Venus held secrets no one had discovered yet. And then one day, he heard it. A voice. At first, he thought it was a mistake. Static in the comms. Feedback from the equipment. But then it spoke again, clear and slow, breaking through the noise of the storm. Elias. Elias. His name. The voice had said his name. He froze. His hands trembled. Slowly, he turned the dial on his radio to scan for signals. Nothing. Only the crackle of the wind and distant thunder. He checked the logs. No transmission had come in. The base's AI system, Cora, confirmed it. "There are no active signals, Elias," Cora said in her calm voice. "You are alone." But he wasn't. He had heard something. He was sure of it. That night, Elias sat in the dim light of the control room, watching the storm outside. He couldn't sleep. The sound of his name still echoed in his mind. Over and over. The next day, he decided to search for the source. He put on his suit, sealed the airlock, and stepped out into the storm. The wind slammed against him like a wall. But he kept moving. His boots crunched against the thick, dark ash that covered the ground. Elias. The voice came again, carried on the wind. He turned his head sharply. It was behind him. Or maybe ahead. It was hard to tell. The voice sounded just like his own. He walked toward the sound, deeper into the storm, away from the base. Hours passed. His suit's power began to drain. The storm got worse. Ash blew in waves, and lightning flashed across the sky, turning everything gold and black. Then he saw it, a dark shape rising in the distance. Not a rock. Not part of the base, it was a structure. A tower, tall and thin, made of smooth black metal, standing alone in the storm. It pulsed with a soft blue light. The voice echoed again, louder now, Elias. "Come closer." He didn't know why, but he obeyed. His feet moved on their own. As he stepped closer, the air felt heavy, like it was pressing against his chest. His heartbeat thumped in his ears. He reached the base of the tower and touched it. It was cold. Suddenly, the storm fell silent. The wind stopped. The lightning faded. For the first time since he landed on Venus, there was no sound. Except the voice. But now it was clear. "Elias, you have come home." He stepped back, heart racing. The tower's surface rippled like water, and then he saw something, his reflection. But it wasn't just a reflection. It smiled at him, even though he wasn't smiling. It spoke again. "I am you," Elias screamed, but no sound came from his mouth. His voice was gone. The only voice now was the one from the tower. His own voice. Echoing in the silence. Echoing on Venus. Elias stumbled backward, falling hard onto the ash-covered ground. His suit's impact sensors blared in his ears. But he didn't care. He just stared at the tower, heart pounding. The surface of the structure rippled again, and the reflection vanished. The storm was still gone. Silence covered the land like a thick blanket. Venus had never been silent before. Elias sat up slowly, trying to calm his breathing. His voice was still gone. He tried to speak, but no sound came out. Only the sound of his own rapid breaths filled his helmet. "Cora. System check." He whispered, but again, nothing. Then he remembered. Cora could still hear him through his helmet's sensors. He tapped the emergency button on his wrist. Cora's calm voice came through, crackling a bit. "Elias, your vitals are elevated. Your oxygen is at 70%. I am detecting a complete silence outside the base. The storm has ceased." Elias shook his head, confused. He typed on his suit's arm pad. Cora, I can't speak. Something took my voice. There was a long pause. Then Cora answered, medical scan indicates no physical damage to your vocal cords. Cause unknown. Elias stared at the tower. The blue light pulsed again, brighter this time, like it was breathing. A deep vibration rolled through the ground beneath him. He stood up, his legs shaky. A low hum filled the air, and the tower's surface opened like a door. Inside it was dark. The voice came again, inside his head. Elias, come in. He wanted to run. Every part of him wanted to get back to the base, to leave this place. But something pulled him forward. Not just fear, curiosity, wonder, and a strange feeling, like he belonged here. He stepped into the tower. The walls inside shimmered with soft blue light. The air felt warm, not deadly like Venus outside. His suit sensors showed the temperature was stable, safe. He reached up and touched his helmet. He hesitated. Was it possible? He unlatched the seal and removed his helmet. He could breathe. He gasped, air filling his lungs. The first sound that came out was a deep, painful cough. Then, silence again. He tried to speak. No voice. Still gone. Then the walls lit up, and images appeared, moving like memories. His childhood home, his father's face, the old tree by the river where he used to sit and dream about space. Elias blinked, confused. How did the tower know this? More images came, his first space mission, his time on Earth, the launch to Venus. Then, a strange sight, himself, standing inside this tower, but different. His eyes glowed blue. Then the figure in the image turned and looked at him, as if it saw him watching. It was the reflection, and it smiled again. Suddenly, a voice filled the chamber, not in his head, but in the air. A perfect copy of his voice. You are not the first. You are the echo. Elias felt cold all over. He stepped back, heart racing. What do you mean? He whispered, forgetting he had no voice. The tower answered anyway. You are the echo of what was left behind. This place holds voices, memories. It calls them back. The light grew stronger. Elias could feel it inside his head now, memories flooding in that weren't his own. People, faces, strange places, other worlds, other lives, and all the voices sounded like his. No, Elias thought, these can't be mine. Then he heard something that froze him in place. A scream. His own scream, echoing in the chamber. Then laughter. His laughter. Then words. Thousands of them. All his voice. The walls pulsed with sound, and the light turned red. Elias fell to his knees, clutching his head. The tower whispered again. You came to find the truth. Now you will join the echo. The door behind him closed with a hiss. He was trapped. And outside, the storm began to rise again. Elias lay on the floor of the tower, holding his head, shaking. The voices wouldn't stop. They spoke, sang, screamed, whispered, all at once, all his own voice, layered on top of each other like a broken song. The air felt heavy, pressing down on him, wrapping around him like hands. Then, suddenly, silence again. He opened his eyes. The red light faded to soft blue once more. The walls no longer showed images. They had turned smooth and dark, like glass. Elias stood up slowly, breathing hard. His hands trembled. What is this place, he thought. Why my voice? A soft light appeared in front of him, floating in the air like a small glowing orb. It moved slowly, drifting deeper into the tower. He followed it. As he walked, the walls of the tower began to shift and change. They showed stars, planets, and swirling galaxies. Strange symbols glowed in the air, none that he understood. The light stopped above a platform. On the platform was a chair, simple, smooth, and made from the same dark metal as the tower. The orb hovered above it, waiting. Elias stepped forward. As he neared the chair, he heard the voice again. His voice, "Sit, Elias. Remember." He hesitated, then sat. The moment he touched the chair, the floor beneath him lit up. Lines of light stretched out like veins, reaching the walls. Then his mind exploded with memory. But it wasn't just his own. He saw himself again, but in a different place. A city of tall towers under a red sky. People walked by in strange suits, and all of them had his face. He saw them talking, working, laughing. He heard their voices, his voice, over and over. Then a word came into his mind, the echo program. The voice spoke again, inside his head. You are part of the echo program, a project to preserve life, memory, and identity across space. Across time, Elias tried to stand, but the chair held him. Light wrapped around his arms and legs, holding him gently but firmly. You are not the first, Elias Quinn, the voice said. You are one of many, sent to Venus, to awaken the memory his heart pounded. Clones. Copies. He wasn't the first. He wasn't even the original. Why, he thought. Why bring me here? The tower answered. This world holds the first memory. The true voice. It was lost. Now found, Elias gasped as a new image appeared before him. A figure standing tall, eyes glowing blue, just like before. It was him, but older, worn. The figure spoke. I am the first, the original Elias Quinn. I built the tower. I left the memory. You are my echo. Elias shook his head. His mouth moved, but still no sound came. The older version of himself continued. We failed. Earth is gone. The echo program was our hope to survive in memory. Each copy sent to a different world, to find, restore, and become whole. The image faded. Elias felt weak, alone. Then the chair released him. He stood, stumbling back. The orb floated near him, and from it came a single word. Choice. A doorway opened behind him. Beyond it, the storm raged again. Lightning flashed. Thunder roared. You can return. Stay who you are. Forget the truth, the voice said. Then another path opened, deeper into the tower. Or become the voice. Carry the memory. Be the echo. Elias stared at both paths. One led to escape, the other to something unknown, something far greater. He looked down at his hands. Were they really his? Did it matter? The storm waited outside. The truth waited within. Elias stepped toward the deeper path. He walked into the light. The path led Elias deep into the heart of the tower. As he walked, the walls around him pulsed with soft light. He felt no fear now, only a strange calm, like he was moving toward something that had been waiting for him forever. The air inside grew warmer. The blue light turned gold. He reached a chamber at the center. It was vast, with a high ceiling that seemed to touch the sky. In the middle stood a pillar, tall and glowing. Around it, floating in the air, were small spheres of light, hundreds of them. They pulsed gently, like they were breathing. Elias stepped closer. Each light flickered with images, faces, places, and moments. He saw himself in each one, but different every time. One was a pilot flying over a strange ocean. Another was a scientist working in a lab on Mars. Another, a man walking through the ruins of Earth. All versions of him. All echoes. He reached out, and the lights moved away, swirling around him like a slow storm of memory. Then the voice came again. His voice, soft but clear. These are the echoes. Lives saved. Voices remembered. You are the last. The final key. The pillar before him opened, revealing a seat, simple and smooth, like the first chair. This is the core, the voice said. Join. Become the voice. All echoes will live through you. Elias stepped forward, heart pounding. His mind raced with doubt. Would he disappear, lose himself, or become something more? He remembered Earth. The fires, the silence, the end. He remembered leaving, the long flight, the hope. And then, the voice, calling him here. He sat in the core. The light around him grew blinding. He closed his eyes. Suddenly, everything changed. He could see. Not with his eyes, but with his mind. All the lives, all the memories flowed into him. He felt every voice, every moment. They didn't crush him. They joined with him. He was Elias Quinn. But also more. He was the echo, a single voice made of many. The tower lit up, sending a beam of gold light into the stormy sky of Venus. The clouds parted for the first time in history. The wind stopped, the lightning faded. And far above, in space, a signal was sent. Clear, strong. It carried a message. We remember. We live back on Earth's ruins. Machines awoke. On Mars, receivers blinked to life. In deep space, ships turned toward Venus. The voice had returned. Elias, now the echo, stood at the center of the tower, whole and calm. He looked out at the golden sky and finally spoke. His voice was strong, real. Alive, I found my voice. And now the world will hear. The storm never returned. The tower stood silent. But from it, the voice of Elias Quinn, of all the echoes, carried across the stars.